So in this case, it was the Vrajavasis who were in danger, not Krishna. In the other sense, Krishna was in danger with Kaliya. After that, then the Vrajavasis were in danger because of the fire. And so they called out to Krishna. Krishna, please save us. So we may think, well, this is not pure bhakti because you're calling out for yourself. Please save me. And we see this in other cases also. When Govardhan Hill was, before Govardhan Hill, when Indra was putting all the rain down, then everybody came to Krishna, what are we supposed to do? The cows are suffering, whatever, please save us. So in these instances, it looks like their bhakti is not pure because they're asking, save us. They're not asking about Krishna, saying, save us. But it's explained that their only motive in saying save us is that we want to preserve our life so we can serve you. So in that way, it's not mixed devotion, it's actually pure devotion. In other words, we want to maintain our life so we can please you. That's all. If we don't please you, it doesn't matter if we live or die or whatever like that. So that's one way of looking at this, the way they ask, please save us. Another aspect of that, of course, is mentioned in the beginning of the Nectar Devotion, where when Rupa Goswami explains Anya Avaleshta Shunya Jnana Karma Dinavratam. This is the definition of pure bhakti. No other desire except the desire to please Krishna. That is pure bhakti, not covered by jnana or vairagya or karma or whatever. In relation to that, then it is said, of course, no other desire than to please Krishna. But it is said, Anya Abhilasa Ta Sunya, not Anya Abhilasa. Abhilasa means desire. So no other desire would be Anya Abhilasa Sunya. No desire except to please Krishna. But it doesn't say that. It says Anya Abhilasa Ta Sunya, which means in general, you should not have other desires. Which implies sometimes you can have a desire other than pleasing Krishna. So therefore, it is said that in sadhana bhakti, if there are a few occasions, not all the time, but once in a while, there's some danger. So you say, Krishna, please save me. It's not taken against you. So you're still doing pure bhakti, even if you do that. So in extraordinary circumstances, you may call out to Krishna for help. Please save me. Please cure me from my disease or whatever like that. So even then, though it looks like it is, mixed desire for your own body or whatever, it's not taken as impure bhakti because it's not a constant desire to do something for yourself. And again, when the devotee asks that, the devotee again is not asking only for himself because he also wants to maintain his service to Krishna. And we see that even in great devotees, the same example. So Draupadi is being unrobed by Dushasana, and then she prays, save me, Krishna. So is she impure? Is she doing impure bhakti? No. Extraordinary circumstance, she's calling out, but and it looks like it's for herself, to her honor or whatever, but ultimately it doesn't contaminate her bhakti because it's an extraordinary incident. If it's constantly we're asking Krishna for things, then it's a pollution of bhakti, but no problem. So in the great devotees, even like that, we'll see they may call out periodically in that way. So in any case, the people of Vrindavan, they may call out to Krishna when the forest fire is there, but it's not a contamination of their bhakti, So in this instance also, we see an extraordinary way in which Krishna conquers the demon. With the whirlwind demon who took him up in the air, he got heavier than the heaviest, and he pulled the demon down and smashed him on the ground. So that's a very novel way. killing the Trinavarta. So in this fire incident, then he swallowed the fire, and this defeated the demon. So it's another novel way of ending him. We saw the Aghasur demon; he just expanded himself in the mouth of Aghasur and choked him to death. So in this way, Krishna also shows cleverness in the way he can defeat different demons. So Krishna's purpose in killing demons, of course, we say is to protect the devotees and preserve dharma, etc. But then Prabhupada mentions in Bhagavad Gita that the real reason that Krishna comes into the material world is to please his devotees. And all these other things like killing demons and preserving dharma are secondary to that purpose. They're like side things. Just as you said that, Lord Chaitanya's purpose was, of course, he's a Yuga Dharma avatar to spread Harinam, but that's also considered to be external reason. Then we have the internal reason. What's the internal reason? He wanted to experience the mood of Radha. That's an internal reason, which is more important for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the other one's an extra little thing, not so important. The internal reason, he wants to experience the mood of Radha and understand her greatness and her sweetness, etc. So, like that, Krishna or any form of any avatar, purpose is to somehow please the devotees and relish the rasa with the devotees. So that's all of these incidents in Vrindavan show how he gets great relationship with the devotees. Of course, in the process, he kills demons, all sent by Kamsa. But main activity is to exchange rasa with his devotees, and Vatsalya rasa, Madhurya rasa, Sakya rasa, Dasya rasa. That's his main activity is in Vrindavan, not just to kill a demon and conquer Kamsa, etc. So, of course, this is very nicely explained or displayed in the pastimes in Vrindavan, where the devotees get great pleasure from Krishna. So though Krishna kills demons or conquers demons like Kaliya or Aghasura or Utana, whatever, we actually get more pleasure from the pastimes that have no demons. So one of those pastimes, of course, is Damodar pastime, no demon involved. Yeah. So Mother Yasoda ties up Krishna, whatever. It's a very pleasing pastime for the devotees. Or we have the most spectacular pastime, the Ras Leela. No demons involved. So it's only rasa with devotees. And then Krishna gets the most ecstasy out of that pastime of all. So that's the actual motive of the Supreme Lord in coming to the material world, so he can interact with his devotees. And he experiences bliss, and those devotees, like the gopis and Mother Yasoda, they get extraordinary bliss also. So that's the ultimate purpose of the Supreme Lord. And in the process, he kills the demons like Bhutanar, tames Kaliya, etc. So in this way, the pastimes go on. So there's two aspects of the pastimes, actually. One is the sweetness with the devotees. The other is to fulfill the other purposes of conquering demons and restoring dharma, etc. Okay. Any question?
Gopis in Madhura Rasa was also afraid when Krishna was with Kaliya.
What?
Vatsala Rasa devotees, of course, they was.
Yeah, Mother Yasoda was going to jump in the river and they had to restrain her.
But the Gopis in Madhura Rasa, like.
Well, they actually, there was, I said, they were not fully developed, but they also could not exhibit anything because they're not supposed to have any attraction to Krishna at all. So they had to restrain their feelings so they could not, faint or whatever. When Krishna left Vrindavan and went to Mathura, they're going to help themselves. So then very publicly they fainted and tried to block the chariot and whatever. But that was, something they usually didn't do. But they were so disturbed that they didn't care about the people anymore, the mothers and fathers or whatever. So they explicitly displayed their love for Krishna. But generally they hid all of that. And especially because it was before they had reached maturity, then it was quite, restrained. So they didn't show anything off. Even when Krishna lifted up Govardhan Hill, yes, they were very attracted. Krishna was also glancing at the gopis and whatever, but nobody could actually see that, so it was all kind of hidden.
Which part of the world was Kalia?
Where did he go? It mentions where he went.
Fiji.
What island? Ramanaka.
Fiji Island.
Oh, it was Ramanaka, wasn't it? Ramanaka place or something called Ramanaka, I think it was.
Place
Wherever
called
that is.
Ramanaka.
Well, of course, Prabhupada says Fiji.
Fiji.
So that's why in Fiji they have Kalia.
Yeah.
Kalia Krishna there. What is the reason for that? Do they have some legend there about Kalia going there or something?
Upender told me something. No, I can't remember his name. He's one of the first devotees.
He went there to Fiji.
Open it up.
Maybe there's some story there, local
Yeah.
legend, about some snake, whatever like that. Well, I think it was Ramanaka, the place he went to.
Who was Kalia in his previous life?
Oh, it's not said what he was.
Suddenly, some demon will not suddenly come, right?
Huh?
There must be some story, right? Why?
Possibly not not in the Bhagavatam and not related by our Goswamis, what happened previously. Usually they don't get into too much the previous
Depends,
lifetimes of
yeah.
people. Sometimes like Prahlad and so from another Purana, whatever, they don't mention that at all. They just say Prahlad is Prahlad and everyone, different devotees is different, thing like that. The only previous birth, of course, we get Hiranyakasipu and Ravana and Shishupala, or we get Narada Muni in his previous life like that, but not too many. I think for Ajamil there's also a story who he was in his previous life or whatever, but our acharyas don't seem to mention those things so much. There is Puranas that mention these things, but they don't mention.
But the wife of Kalia, they were off woman of neck or they were full neck?
It's hard to say, but I was just going over the translation of Hari Bhaktivilasasa. I was proofing it a little bit of it. And it's describing the Murti forms. So they have a Murti of Matsyavatar. And they said, okay, it is a fish form, the guy with his tail and all that. And he's got his mouth open, and out of that is emerging the Vishnu form. So even, you see the depictions of Matsya where the Vishnu is there and his tail of a fish like that, or same with Kurma, and the top part is a Vishnu form.
Yeah.
So they're describing a Murti form of it, but it looks like sometimes the Lord does have like half body like that. It's like a Shrimadev, but it's opposite. So it looks like the Nagapatnis, they seem to have.
Because they spoke to Krishna.
Yeah, well,
So
of course, snakes could speak also, because Kaliya was speaking also.
Oh, really?
He also spoke. Yeah, he was offering prayers afterwards also, so they could. But I think in the depictions we see that they have like human bodies with fish bottoms or snake bottoms, like that. So not quite sure. Doesn't really explain. Doesn't describe them as such.
But the wife also went with him.
Yeah, they're the ones that saved him.
So they're all in Fiji.
On Fiji. Yes.
Why? Kalia is like, he don't die, huh?
Huh?
Kalia never
He
died.
didn't die, no. He was saved by Krishna. And we see here Banasura also saved, wasn't killed. So the mercy of Krishna is manifested in different ways. Killing is merciful, and they get another body, but they get liberation, or they may get a body in the spiritual world, or he may not kill them, and they become devotees of sorts. So that's that. In the case of Lord Chaitanya, he doesn't kill anyone.
Mm.
They all become devotees.
So morning we were discussing, right? Like ye yathama prapadyante, and Krishna is equal to all.
Mhm.
So when say Pandavas are going to forest,
Mm.
exile and all, right?
Mm.
So the other way of looking at is that demons were winning,
Mhm.
right? So
Yeah.
can we say like, okay, sometimes demons were winning, so Krishna was with them?
Oh, on the side
We
of
never
demons.
say like that. No?
Okay. Yeah. Well, even Bhishma says we cannot understand what Krishna is doing. He's a great devotee, but he also doesn't know what's the plan of Krishna. Why did he not do anything when the Pandavas were in the forest? Why he didn't do this? Why he didn't do that? He could have settled everything very quickly. Why you have a battle of Kurukshetra? I mean, where so many people get killed. He could instantly kill everybody if he wanted to. Huh? So, even for the devotees, it's sometimes difficult to understand the plan of the Lord and why he does a certain action, why it looks like he neglects the devotee or whatever. But we can never question that because he has a greater plan sooner or later. In this case, after everything's over, it looks like the Pandavas really understood what was happening at the end. Yeah. But then they also got confused because then Krishna annihilated the Yadus also.
Yeah.
Yeah. Arjuna saw the annihilation of the Yadus. He came back and everybody was devastated. How could Krishna do this? The Yadus getting drunk and killing each other. You know, like a really strange way to end his pastimes like that. So well, then, of course, is explained why Krishna did it this way, because nobody else could kill the Yadus anyway, so they had to kill themselves, so to speak, like that. That was simply a way of, ending the pastime or whatever. But it's very difficult for people to understand all this. And then Krishna himself, what happened? He got shot by a hunter. Of all things, some hunter shot him, mistaking him for a deer head or something, and shot him on the foot. And then he died by
Just
arrow in
one
the foot. That must be strange, also. And then it looked like he died. And it's explained that he left a body even. Yeah. But then, of course, it's explained that those who could see saw that he got in his chariot and went up to Vaikuntha. But at the same time, he left a body that looked like a normal body. And somebody got shot by an arrow. So Krishna can also fool people. So for the material, it's very difficult to understand. They'll think he's a material body and has all material faults and tragic family situation, or his family, they have a fratricidal war and they kill each other. But Krishna has his own plan behind all of this.
So we say like we cannot understand why Krishna does what.
No, not really.
Similarly, we cannot understand why devotees do certain things that never
Well,
expected to do.
This, of course, is Krishna acting on the highest level, in the spiritual world and making arrangements for his pastimes. Huh? In the material world, even if we're devotees, we're not on that level. So then we can't explain everything else. All Krishna's Leela that I act like this. And it may be due to our anarthas. So we can't use the same example for ourselves as we use for Krishna. And this is all pastime for Krishna. You can't say that.
Yeah.
That's
Devotees say
real
like
Maya.
that.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Lord.